mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad.
Well, welcome home, family.
Welcome home.
It's your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Family, I have been holding something in for about 48 hours that I have been desperately wanting to tell you. But after it happened, I was really freaked out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm not going to tell Evan because I want to tell him on the podcast to get your IRL reaction.
And that's the sacrifices we make here. Fear. Fear
I barrel
for content.
I can barrel through fear for content for you, family. But the irony of this is this happened 2 nights ago. Okay. And I've been holding it in. And then yesterday, I get a DM on your mom and dad pod that says any ghost updates. So the timing of this is very strange because if someone would have sent any ghost updates 3 days ago, I would have been like, you know what, family? It has been...
Our ghost teenager's been
chill. The teens went to college. Like, genuinely, there's been nothing going on for like a year, if not more at this point.
I know.
It's really been quiet. I've had no weird encounters, no weird sounds, nothing like that. And what's crazy about it is for like, I don't know, a solid 2 years, I mean, it was happening a lot.
Yeah, like babysitters were saying like, cups are moving around, lights are flickering.
When Ember's toy went across the table in front of us?
Yes.
I mean, one of the craziest things, literally a stuffed animal, Evan and I were just sitting chatting at the dinner table and it just across the table in front of our eyes, okay? And also a stuffed animal that had weight to it. Not something that like a breeze could have blown, okay?
One of those indoor breezes,
One of those notorious indoor breezes.
Bad.
And we would hear speaking all the time and like in different rooms and knocking. I mean, and it was happening a lot to the point that if you all remember, like I was downloading all sorts of ghost apps. Evan was upset at me because he was like, stop trying to interfere in the other world. Well, that's always my
thing, you guys, is like, you know, people always like, are there ghosts? Are there not ghosts? Are they real? Whatever.
Yeah.
My thing is like, does it matter?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, let's say they do exist. You want to mess with spiritual beings that can transfer planes and make your life a living hell? Or do you just let them be? Because I've seen a lot of horror movies, guys. A lot of ghost movies. And you know what always happens? Is they bring in some priest or something and then they do something and then the ghost gets pissed and starts killing everyone. So my thing is like, learn from the past, leave them alone.
Well, the thing about...
Also, if your house is haunted by bad ghosts or ghosts that are pissed off, leave the house, sell the house. Because
but some people aren't able to because I mean, think about, especially now, the current day and age, like with this economy, like my gosh, you can't just hop up and leave.
Okay. So the ghost is gonna murder you. So it's kind of like leave or get murdered. You know what I'm saying? Watch a movie once. They always take out at least everyone, and then there's one left. Like they kill everybody, and then there's like one person who survived to tell the tale, and it's always grandma. You know what I mean? In the story, who's like sitting in the corner, being like, "I barely made it out alive," and you're like, "Dude, just leave."
But listen, the thing about us is that there were a couple towards the beginning, like creepy encounters that made me feel scared.
Okay.
But in general,
no, it was
like a lighthearted. So like, I was like interacting with with that ghost. It wasn't freaking me out.
You could have pissed it off.
Well, let me tell you what happened. Okay. So family, it's been dead silent.
Yeah.
What a pun. What an ironic pun. But we have had no ghosty interactions for a long time. And then 2 nights ago, I was in bed. Evan was sleeping next to me, but my back was turned to Evan.
Yeah.
And I was sleeping.
Okay.
And I woke up because I felt chills I woke out of sleep from chills all over my body because someone was whispering in my ear. It was a man's voice. It was like a deeper man's voice. And I couldn't quite gather what this being said, but it was enough to like wake me up out of sleep, the chills and hearing. And I right away turn over because I thought it was you.
It was me, yeah.
And so I turn over, your back's facing me.
Mm-hmm.
and you're not awake at all.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, it freaked me out.
Sure.
But I'm like, you know what? I was sleeping.
Sure.
It's like that feeling of falling when you're sleeping. Like you have those weird things. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I turned back over and I'm literally just like staring at the wall, trying to fall asleep. Now I'm fully awake.
Right.
Okay. I'm fully awake. I feel a finger go from the top of my spine down to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And I turn over again to be like, what's Evan doing? Is he
Were you on your stomach?
No, I was on my side, looking away from you.
Okay.
Same position that I was when it whispered, looking away from you. I feel a finger go from the top of my spine to the bottom of my spine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I right away freak out, turn around and assume like maybe you're trying to get a little handsy.
Sure.
Maybe my stirring woke you up.
Right.
Your back is turned and you're still facing the other direction. And I was awake. Yeah. Okay? I was awake. So
this is easily described, like explained.
Okay.
Super easily explained.
Okay.
You're having an emotional affair with one of your book lovers. That's all this is. Let's think about it. It's a man's voice, a deep man's voice.
It was an attractive.
Who speaks into your neck, basically. Then you wake up and he runs his finger down your spine. Now, what's at the end of your spine?
My butt.
Your butt. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what's going on here, you guys, is that while we sleep, she's cheating on me. And that's just the reality. And this is all, if this was like some, goblin man was like, and you're like, okay, be a little bit more like, oh, that is, but the fact that it's like a hot, deep voice and he runs his finger. But what we're dealing with is she's in and out of sleep. She's falling asleep to these books. And in this book, probably the way the book ended when you fell asleep was like, and then he caressed my back, and then he spoke into my neck and said, dirty thing. That's exactly what happened. And then she thinks it's a ghost. Because let me tell you, our ghost is a teenager who's just pissed and lives in our attic. Like, we don't have hot, sexy lead role.
Well, we haven't heard
ghost.
from him in a long time, so maybe another ghost moved in, and maybe this ghost is kind of like serving my books.
Serving your books. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God,
guys. So sorry for the false alarm here.
What if I start actually living like my real life fantasy? Like, I don't know if anyone out there has read like Phantasma. Like, what if I'm starting to read like it's like real life ghost?
Just know
Phantasma fantasy is all I'm saying.
To everyone listening right now, just know that if your partner is reading these books as much as Jess is, know that every night's an affair. Every night is a full-blown scandal in their dreams. And they wake up to you and you go, hi, good morning. And they just fully cheated on you in their dreams. So just know that I've accepted this.
You know what I have to say? Since I've been reading my books, I haven't had sexy dreams.
Really?
No. I haven't been having sexy dreams at all. No.
Interesting. Maybe because you're satiated. From the books.
Perhaps the books have fulfilled.
It's like I have nothing left.
But you can say all you want, and maybe, granted, the past week I've been getting about 3 hours of sleep every night.
Okay, maybe there's a little
so I'm a little bit
there.
like sleep deprivation, and I'm reading these books as I'm falling asleep. But like I was awake for the spine touch. Okay, I was wide awake because I was freaked out from the ear thing before.
Now, is there a little bit of a fantasy? Because I never actually saw the movie Ghost. But isn't she like hook up with a ghost?
You know what? I don't think I've actually seen the movie either.
So I want to say, I'm guessing it's probably like her boyfriend died and now she has sex with his ghost.
I've read some books that involve ghosts.
Right. So is there a fantasy there?
Yeah,
can the ghost come? No, I'm saying for you.
Oh, for me, no, I haven't had a particular one.
Ghost?
No.
Okay, ghost fantasy?
No.
Maybe I unlocked something new there.
No. Not that I'm aware of. I mean...
Okay.
It just scared me.
It just freaked you out.
Nothing about it was like, ooh la la, let's get going, ghosty.
Right.
It just freaked me out.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe
anyway, family, though he judges my ghosty experience,
100% judge.
I just wanted to keep you updated and let you know that that's what happened to me. So I will let you know if any more encounters happen. Because maybe this ghost
you'll be shocked to know it's all hot lead role men making moves on her.
Maybe this ghost is trying to seduce. So I'm just saying you should step up your game.
Now I'm competing with the spiritual realm. What a nightmare.
Anyway. Today we are here to take some of your call homes. It's time to talk to the family today. I'm very excited about this. But before we talk call homes, we do need to discuss our newly announced Golden Bachelor and some Bachelor in Paradise news. So we got to talk about that. But first, let's take a quick pause. Family, let me tell you, the only gate I keep is in our yard.
Wow.
It's true, which is why I have to share the game changer that is Spot and Tango dog food. So we are obsessed with our little pups, our little babies, Arthur and Ashley, the little duo, and we want the best for them. And that includes getting the best food for them. And I had heard people raving about Spot and Tango. But here's the thing, after trying so many dog foods, Arthur, Ashley, Evan, and I were a little skeptical. But since switching, nothing has made a difference like Spot and Tango's Unkibble. Spot and Tango is a personalized dog food subscription that delivers high quality, ready to serve meals, snacks, and supplements right to your door. So no more last minute pet store runs.
Yeah. And listen, food is medicine and our dogs deserve the best. But most kibble is packed with fillers and mystery ingredients. Who knows what's really in it? But Spot and Tango does things differently. Their Unkibble meals are made with human grade ingredients, including USDA meat, fruits, and veggies. No artificial stuff, no preservatives. Using their fresh dry process, fresh ingredients are gently cooked and freeze dried to lock in nutrients, creating a shelf stable, nutrient rich meal that's as close to home cooked as it gets without the hassle, which is huge.
Yeah, I am obsessed with their Unkibble. It makes sure our dogs get the best, and it's also super convenient for us, so it's a win-win. What I love too is that Spot and Tango creates a custom plan based on your dog's age, breed, weight, and activity level, so they're getting exactly what they need. Plus, the easy-to-use scoop makes portioning simple. It's just so personal to each dog. Like Arthur and Ashley are getting 2 different types of food because of what they need. And let me tell you, we first switched to Spot and Tango's Unkibble a few months ago. And first off, the transition was easy. It was so easy. Second, our dogs love the food. They come running the second that they hear their Unkibble being poured. And third, and most importantly, since they started eating Unkibble, Arthur has been itching way less. His poops are better, and Ashley's breath has been way less stinky.
Oh, thank you.
It's been way less stinky. So needless to say, we are sticking with Spot and Tango. Spot and Tango is offering an exclusive deal for our listeners. For a limited time, go to spotandtango.com/momdad and use code MOMDAD to get 50% off your first order. That's spotandtango.com/momdad, code MOMDAD to get 50% off your first order. spotandtango.com/momdad, code MOMDAD. That's a great deal.
Yeah.
It's a great deal.
Amazing.
Love Spot and Tango. Game changer. Okay, family. So I want to talk Bachelor here for a second. So they have officially announced that we have a new Golden Bachelor. They did not pull someone from the Golden Bachelorette cast, which I was very surprised about, actually, because it seemed like they were really leading Charles into that position.
Yeah. What do you think about that concept of not pulling people versus freshies?
I have mixed feelings about it because sometimes I do love a freshie.
Sure.
Sometimes I love it feels like it's kind of starting from scratch. I'm getting to know someone, just getting to know the lead at the same time as getting to know all the contestants. But then it is nice to kind of go in knowing the lead a little bit, because then you have context more.
For me, it's twofold. First, there's a pre-screening. So they've already kind of been shown and exposed and found and okay, cool. So there's no weird lying in wait stuff that generally happens.
That's very true. It's
especially with the older people who
he has a very important point.
There's a longer track record to have gone through, and there's a lot of pre-internet days too.
Yes.
So stuff can come out from 1982, news article. You know what I mean? So
totally.
It's like when you're 25, it's you got about 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 years of stuff to go through. When you're 60, And the internet's only been around for 20 years. It's like there's a lot there.
You're
you
true.
know?
So now it's like they've been vetted to a certain extent.
Mostly vetted.
Things would have come out at this point likely, but now it's starting
and then you've
fresh.
fallen in love or kind of have an opinion, which I feel like is important. You know, it's like, oh, I either hate or love this person, which is always good for just kind of engagement. So anytime you go fresh, it is a gamble to be like, does this person have it? Now, to the other point is like, it is always exciting to just be like, okay, it's like it's never started every time. It's brand new.
Now, with this situation, I understand why they went fresh, because they chose someone who used to be a professional athlete. So when they do the freshies where it's like, hey, they were an actor, they were famous in this form, they were an athlete, they were, whatever. I would have loved like a famous author. That would have been so chic.
Right.
But yes,
I don't think a famous author would do this.
I don't know.
It's giving athlete for sure.
So they have chosen a man named Mel Owens. He is 66 years old. He is tall, handsome guy. He used to play for the LA Rams. So he was a football player, I think, for 9 years. Okay. And then after he left football, he became a sports injury lawyer.
Right.
So the guy's got cash.
Yep.
The guy's got cash. He's a handsome guy. Yep. He's a tall guy.
Yep.
After reading up about him a little bit, I discovered that he lives in Orange County. He lives in Orange County, which, family, your father and I was born and raised there. Evan spent a lot of his life there. So, we have opinions about Orange County. Our family lives in Orange County. And so as soon as I heard that this gentleman was from Orange County, let me tell you, listen, Mel, I want to say this right out the gate. I know nothing about you. And so everything that's coming out of my mouth is just projection.
Yes.
And you might be the loveliest man ever.
Yes.
So just,
You might be one of the very few incredibly lovely 60-something-year-old men in Orange County. You might be one of them.
I'm just saying, please. I mean no offense by this. This is just projection. But the second I saw his photo, I went, oh, I don't know this man, but I know this man because this man has hit on me and Instagram free Aunt Katie when we go down to Orange County to Laguna Beach or Newport and hang out at the bars.
Yes.
This man is the man who, when we're standing by the bar, he's going to come up, be like, beautiful, gorgeous ladies. Let me buy. What are we drinking tonight? What are we talking about tonight? Let me. And then you're just trying
if you're not familiar with Orange County, I don't even know where you live, but when you live in like cities, real cities, Chicago, LA, New York, whatever, and you go to like a bar, right? It'll be bustling with people that are kind of mostly linked to the same age. You'll kind of have this, like, there's a dating scene. Small towns, I don't know, I'm sure it changes, but I'm sure it's like a lot of people at the bar. A lot of times in big cities,
the different bars have kind of different ages.
Different like themes almost. Like you go to that bar and they have that that age group, whatever.
Yeah, they're like the younger arty people. And then that one's like the younger TikTok-y crowd. And then that's a little bit of the older,
But
wealthy.
Orange County is... If you go to any nice bar or nice restaurant, it is full of Mel
Owens, yeah.
Like wealthy, good-looking 60-something-year-olds who are absolutely on the hunt for the 20 to 35-year-old. And it's just this thing. So if you are going out to these, you will have 4 or 5 Mels walk up to you and be like, so, oh, ladies, fantastic to see you. You know what I mean? It's just some weird vibe. So,
and then when we try to dodge them, they will leave us with their business card.
Yes,
and they still have a business card.
Exactly.
And you're like, all right, yeah, I don't
just,
need to dabble in your business.
And they always make some sort of comment about social. I don't do the social media stuff. I know you ladies probably do. But, I like to get, one-on-one in person, all this dating. I don't do that stuff. They absolutely do, and then they're going to say something weird. It's going to make you, I'm just saying all signs point to Mel's going to have to work against our assumptions, unfortunately, for him.
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll tell you what, and I think I've shared this before, but with my darker hair and my tattoos, it's changed a little bit, but years ago in Orange County, it was often mostly blonde, not really any tattoos, no piercings really. And to me, when I look in the mirror, I go, I don't look
Right.
super edgy or gothy or anything like that. But when I used to go to a bar in Orange County, one of these older men on frequent occasions would come up to me and within 5 minutes ask me if I would want to like tie him up or be a dominatrix.
It's always some sort of like, whoa, what are you?
It's just like, well, how much are we going to pay here? You know, you're looking for a dominatrix.
But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are a, different beast. You are.
Well, it's not even, it's just more because of the darker hair and the tattoos. These older men that are on the prowl in the Orange County bars just see me and the way that I was dressed and just assume because I'm like,
where I was born, I never even saw a woman with tattoos. You know what I mean?
I'm in like black,
Sure.
sometimes leather here or there. So it's like, oh, well, you're a dominatrix. That's not the point. The point is that these men would within 5 minutes like ask me if I do that and hint or directly ask if I would do such a thing to them. So I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, this has nothing to do with you, Mel.
Yes.
Because that's a whole different thing. But I will say upon further research, Mel, he is divorced. So he was married. He has, I believe his divorce was finalized in like 2020. He has.
So fairly recently. But I love that we have someone who's divorced, right? Yep.
Because we have a lot of people on the show who come on and have been divorced. And so it's kind of going to be a little bit of a different story.
Right.
He has 2 sons. So he coaches them. So he's got that coach, who was a football player, coaching his sons in Orange County. But this is what was reported by US Weekly via the court documents. So
court documents is never a good way to start a
conversation. No, I'm just saying this. I haven't looked at the court documents myself. So if this isn't true, I apologize, but I saw this on US Weekly. Mel, they were married. Him and his wife were married for 18 years. Yeah. But Mel was 40 and she was 21. So...
Well, she got out of the age range. You know what I mean? Now she's 40 something. He's like, well, it's time to re-up.
But what I'm saying to you all, family, is where I'm going to have to process a little bit here is that Mel, who's 66, is going to be dating other women who are in their 60s and 70s.
Is this Pascal all over again?
Is he going to be best friends with Pascal? Like, maybe his ex-wife it was random for him that she was younger.
Sure.
Or perhaps, he's gotten older.
It definitely hasn't gotten worse as he's gotten older.
He's gotten older and perhaps the tastes have gotten older. But I fear for this season is all I'm saying, as I fear for these beautiful, wonderful, sweet women
that and go, this might cause a problem.
Well, this guy tends to maybe date younger and we're either his age or maybe a little bit older. And how's that gonna?
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know of any like men who date super young and then all of a sudden just have like a crazy change of heart and then just start dating their own age. I don't see that very often. So unless he had a major, like, as they say, come to Jesus moment or like some therapy and now he's completely changed. This is going to be like, is this like going to be one of those situations where it's like he goes through the whole thing and he's just kind of like, yeah, anyway, now that I'm like kind of semi-internet famous for the first time,
I'm going to date a younger woman.
DMs are open.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So that's all I know. And again, Mel, I don't want to project anything onto you, and I am looking forward to the season and getting to know you better. But I will say, with like the combo of, famous athlete into lawyer into Orange County, tall, handsome,
all signs are pointing
to a 21-year-old,
not a small ego.
I don't know how I feel about this.
The facts are not helping you, Mel. I'll tell you that much. The facts are Orange County lawyer, ex-NFL, 20-year age gap at 40. All signs are not pointing to, I just want to settle down with someone my own age. All signs are pointing to, I still feel 35, baby.
Yeah.
I've recently taken some testosterone and I'm ready to go.
All signs are pointing to, I want a gorgeous younger woman on my large boat in Newport Harbor.
That's what all signs point to.
Because we see a lot of those. You go down to Newport Beach, you go to Newport Harbor, just check out those boats. There's a lot of attractive older men, and hey, like what I mean. But yeah, yep. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
A lot of attractive older men and divorced 60-year-old women who now watch their, split time with their kids with the guy who's now with the 40-year-old. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a lot. So we'll see. We'll see what comes out of this. We're trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. The documents aren't helping, but we'll find a middle ground here. Prove us wrong.
I just think, Pascal might have found, you know what it is? I'll say this. Okay. This is where I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed because I'm like, if we're going in this direction.
I agree. I know what you're saying.
If we're going in this direction and we're having a guy who, at least from historically, dates younger women, why not just do Pascal?
Everyone knows him.
We know Pascal. We all laugh with Pascal. Is he a piece of work? Yes, indeed. But at least we know what we were getting into with the season versus this. I feel like it's being heralded a certain way, and I fear that it might go in a Pascal direction, but they're not heralding it in that direction.
Yes.
So I'm like, why not just
stop burying the lead?
Yeah.
At least Pascal's like charming and French and cool.
Pascal's talked about it and been open.
I mean, at least like kind of like know what you're going into. This guy could kind of bury the lead with the whole
That's what I'm saying.
All right, well, we'll see.
So there's that.
Now, I will say good for drama. You know what I mean? Whenever you
drama.
have this kind of thing and, it's good for drama.
Good for drama. And also, Bachelor in Paradise, baby. Bachelor in Paradise, we have an official premiere date.
Yes.
As of yesterday, July 7th on Mondays at 8 p.m., which means that Bachelor in Paradise will actually be airing during the summer, which is so much more fun. I'm so excited about that. And we found out recently that they have added to the hosting cast list Hannah Brown.
Wild.
Hannah Brown, I saw a clip of her being interviewed. I'm still not quite clear on what her position is. They said she's going to be like the host in the champagne room, basically getting people what they need.
Do booze?
Well, this is what I was going to say. You think that Wells is happy about this?
Wells is pissed.
Wells wanted to be the host of Bachelor in Paradise.
100%.
They didn't give him the hosting job, but they kept him as bartender. And now they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to add Hannah, and she's going to take half of your scenes.
The other part of the booze?
With the champagne.
You will
room.
no longer be serving champagne.
Yeah.
Wells.
No champagne allowed at the bar. You have to go see Hannah.
He's
so
furious.
They're splitting the time.
He's furious.
And this comes off of him getting cut first on the Traitors.
Yeah. It's not a good run for him.
He leaves the Traitors because he gets cut first. And then it's like, oh, by the way, Hannah Brown taking half of your position. So
he's fuming. He'll be spicy.
Thoughts and prayers for Wells.
He'll be spicy. He'll be coming in being like, how he starts shit?
Yes.
He'll be starting lots of shit.
And I'm also curious if there's going to be like a very like visceral frenemy energy going on between Wells and Hannah.
Do we know of any drama between them in real life?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
but
it's going to start now.
It'll start now. It'll start now.
We'll see some
absolutely.
like tweets, you know what I mean, coming out like a week later, just being like, some people don't know how to hold it, just that kind of thing.
Yeah. And we found out that it will no longer be was it in Puerto Vallarta? I think it was in Puerto Vallarta. It's going to be in Costa Rica now.
Oh, wow.
So now we have it in Costa Rica.
Whoa.
Whole new digs.
Now, I think that introduces more bugs, which is going to be fun. You know what I mean? How people are always like, oh my God, there's something in my... I think Costa Rica has significantly more wildlife going on.
Yes.
So there might be...
I think just more wildlife in general.
Monkeys?
We might see monkeys, some more like snakes.
Costa Rica has monkeys, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So maybe some monkeys and snakes cruising around, stealing drinks.
I love that.
Have you ever seen the monkeys that like trade you? There's like monkeys in some of these touristy areas in like Bali and stuff that will steal like your purse, and then in order to get it back, you have to give them treats.
Yeah, but
so
of
maybe
course.
there's some of that. Maybe
But
they can
of
barter
course.
with the monkeys to get their stuff back. I would love that. Bit of a monkey storyline.
Well, I'm excited to see the new place. It still feels unclear. I looked up some of Jesse Palmer's interviews, and he said things like, I'm excited to see maybe some of our younger people getting advice from some of our Goldens, which from what I'm aware of, family, let me know in the comments if they've made this clear, but from what I'm aware of, they still haven't come out and say whether the Goldens and the younger people are going to be in the same exact area at the same time all the time, or if they'll have them on different sides of the resort. And then sometimes they'll have overlaps to, get advice or chit chat. They still haven't made it entirely clear from what I'm aware of. So
because it's confirmed that there's like dating golden situation. It's not like the Goldens are just going to come for like advice and stuff.
They're
it's
dating.
Officially dating.
Yeah, because I think they said they're going to be 10 Goldens.
Right.
So they're not just hanging out.
Right. Okay. If Dude, if they combine them, that would be the most insane thing ever. There's no way they're going to do that. I'm convinced, but I'm sure that, they'll do a lot of bits, a lot of advice bits, a lot of funny games where like, look at the old people can't do the game. And then you have to carry them. There's going to be all sorts of interactions.
I just need the over under on if Pascal is going to be there. I need to know.
He'll drop in.
He'll drop in.
Or at least he'll drop in.
He'll be like sailing by or something.
Exactly.
He'll be sailing by and
he'll
it'll be
invite
like
the ladies to come on his boat. And like 3 will leave the show.
The Golden's coming. He goes, no, not you, ladies.
Yes.
These
Young.
4 beautiful.
Younger.
Anywho, so that's what we know. And July 7th, I cannot wait.
Yes.
I cannot wait.
It feels it's a couple of years now, or 1 year, just 1 year.
We skipped 1 year, but
basically 2 years because it's been since the last time we saw it. So
I'm very excited.
Yes.
Okay. Family, we got to take another quick pause here and then dive back in. So, fam, some of the questions we are answering today during our call homes, they're going to be about relationships, and something in relationships that inevitably becomes a discussion are finances. Now, at one point, your girl over here was signed up for so many apps and subscription services that I wasn't using anymore, that I was paying for monthly, but I had either forgotten about them or canceling them was just too much of a nightmare. Well, at one point, Evan sweetly came to me one day a few years ago and said, "Hey babe, do you use any of these? Because it's a lot of money." And then he told me that he was using Rocket Money. Okay. Thank goodness he did, because they have become my savior. They have become my savior. Saving marriages over here, Rocket Money, for real. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Once I started using Rocket Money, I was like, I need this always, because it made everything so much easier and truly helped us save money. And with prices going up on just about everything lately, being smart with your money isn't just a good idea, it's essential. So thank you, Rocket Money.
Yeah, Rocket Money is indeed very essential in our house. They make it so easy. You can see all your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. And for ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Also, Rocket Money has the great dashboard that gives you a clear view of your expenses across all your accounts. It's super streamlined. You can easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going, and get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget.
Oh my gosh. I really love that feature. The feature's like, it's like, hey girl, the budget's looking a little tight, so chill. Also, I love the new goals feature. It automatically saves money for you, so you don't have to think about it, which can help you pay off bills, put money away for a big purchase like a car, or just build your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when they use all the app's premium features. We are some of those people, and we are very grateful. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Download the Rocket Money app and enter our show name, your mom and dad, in the survey so they know that we sent you. Don't wait. Download the Rocket Money app today and tell them you heard about them from our show. Okay, family, let's get into some call homes, but a quick reminder that we are going to start covering a new reality TV show. We've been asking you all to blow up the YouTube comments or to send us DMs of what you're interested to have us recap. The big one right now is Temptation Island, which we'd be thrilled to cover, but also there's, I think it's called Battle Camp, Got to Get Out, The Valley. There's a couple other options that we've heard, so go ahead and keep sending us messages in the YouTube comments, the DMs, what you want us to recap, and we're going to take the one that we get the most and we're going to recap that. I also believe that Perfect Match might be starting in June, the next season. So we're kind of looking to recap something for like the month of May.
Yes.
So yeah, let us know what your thoughts and feelings are. And we, over the weekend, are going to put together all those numbers, and we'll be surprising you next week with what we're going to be covering. But also, just as a heads up, because of then having to watch the episodes, and also, you know, I can't quite get into it, but Miss Ember has
cool stuff,
some stuff going on. So I'm going to be with her doing that for numerous days. So the episode next week, we have one episode coming out next week where we're going to be covering one of these reality TV shows. The episode next week is going to come out either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So we thank you for your flexibility. It might not drop Wednesday. It might be a Thursday or Friday, just depending on if we have to watch a bunch of episodes or not. But we will keep you updated on that on our Instagram stories. So I'll post some stories about it at the top of the week to let you all know what the tea is, what the deal is, what we'll be covering so you can prepare, and also when the episode's going to drop. All right. I want to hear from the family, please.
Ready?
Yes.
Remember, you can always go home.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi.
This is one of your Canadian children calling. I am a longtime listener, first-time caller, used to be abroad. Now I'm one of your children. So I'm just calling looking for some advice or perspective. In November of last year, I got out of a 5-year relationship with a man that I thought I was going to be with forever. You know, he wasn't sure about me, and that was enough for me to stop being sure about him and move on because I deserved more. So I have been dating, and I started talking to this guy. He is like quite older, like 10, 15 years older than me.
Is it Mel?
And we had been chatting, like texting every single day, like good morning, good night, all the way through, just like back and forth, no pressure, just like joking. I thought he was really funny. He made me laugh. He was super cute. And then on April Fool's Day, he asked me to dinner. I completely forgot what day it was. I agreed to go to dinner with him. And about 20 minutes after I agreed, he texted me saying it was an April Fool's joke and that I fully took the bait.
What?
I don't know if I'm overreacting, but I completely stopped talking to him.
What?
I don't know. I felt like really silly for like getting excited to go on a date with him, and when he thought it was a joke, like anyway,
I'm raging.
So that was what had happened, and now I'm kind of just like sitting here and I'm sad. Like I want to be in a relationship, and I know that's like a desperate thing, and like everyone should be happy being alone. I'm a super hyper independent person. My last relationship was long distance, and I spent a lot of time by myself, but like that companionship and partnership is something that I really crave and feel like I'm missing from my life. I have a best friend in the whole wide world, and I do have a kiddo, and I try my best to, you know, like prioritize having a social life, but yeah, just want some feedback, some perspective from my mom and dad. What do you guys think of the situation? Did I overreact to the April Fool's joke? I look forward to any and all feedback you have. I apologize for my dog barking in the background. Anywho, I guess I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Okay.
How is it a joke? I think that's where I struggle, is like, I'm all about humor. You know what I mean? But it's like, he could have been just like, you know, oh, will you marry me? Oh, okay, that's funny. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, asking something that's basic.
That is
like, will you pick me up from the airport? And then just you go to the airport and he's not there. Like, that's not like a funny bit.
No. I am, when I tell you, dear family member, you're asking if you overreacted.
But to make a date a
you're
joke
asking
is crazy.
if you overreacted by just stopping talking to this guy. The way I would lay into him, like, you did not overreact. That is unbelievable to have been chatting with somebody. Good morning. How are you? Texting all throughout the day for a while, and then finally ask them out and be like, haha, got you. After the person says yes, it was just an April Fool's joke. That is so screwed up. Like, that is so that just tells me what I need to know about this man's sense of humor. Like, you do not want to be with this guy anyways. Like, that
so
type
bad.
of sense of humor is horrific.
The only way like it would have worked is if like you had been platonic friends for 20 years and it was like so clear neither of you liked each other that way, and then one person said, do you want to have want to go on a date, and the other person's like, oh God, what do I say? How do I turn him down? And then it's a joke. But to be like casually romantically talking to someone and then they like make you guys going on a date a joke? Is like, what is the possible outcome there?
Even if you had been friends with someone for a long time, I feel like that is just such an awkward thing to do because you're about to make everything awkward.
100%.
Because what if the person says yes?
Right.
And then you're like,
now you just blew your friendship up. Yeah, it's
okay.
The
caveat to this on top of it is you're saying he is 10 to 15 years older than you and he's making
it's even worse.
A joke like that. It's like, how old is this man? Like that behavior is like a boy who's 13 being like, hey guys, check this out. Look at what I'm going to do with my friends.
Like he's trying to impress his friends.
Yeah. Watch me when I'm going to go ask this girl.
Drinking Coca-Cola.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this man is 10 to 15 years older than you. Like, no, you did not overreact to this man. I don't know if you've met him on a dating app, but his his profile needs to be flagged.
I know it hurts, but I will say, look at it like a gift.
Yeah.
You didn't get to find out how shitty this person was through different, deeper worlds. So the fact that like he did this stupid joke showed you how much of an idiot he is. So look at it like, thank God I didn't get more emotionally invested and then find out how lame he is later.
You dodged big time. And I do want to say this to you because you made a comment that, you want to have a partner and you're like, I know I should be happy being alone. Listen, I firmly believe, yes, we are the only ones who can fulfill ourselves, right? We need to learn how to just be able to fulfill because you are worthy and fulfill yourself.
Yes.
But that does not mean that there is anything wrong with like the deep desire for partnership. Yes. So never make yourself feel that way like, oh, I shouldn't want that. That's okay to want. You can be an independent, fulfilled person who is beyond happy with who you are as a mother, as a friend, all of those things, and still, of course, want to have a partner. And I just want to give you encouragement. Like, I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with some of these men out there and that it's rough like that out there. But hearing how you handled your 5-year relationship and how you were like, hey, he started to like not be like losing interest, or I forget how you worded, I apologize. But your response to like, well,
I deserve more.
That I deserve more just tells me that you really do know yourself and you're looking for like the right type of person. And I believe you're going to find that person, especially with that mentality, making sure that you are taking care of you and know what you deserve. Like, and the fact too that you cut off this guy after his stupid April Fool's joke. I just want to encourage you that like it seems from your mom and dad here, like you are absolutely moving in the right direction, have an amazing life, and you want a partner. And I believe you're going to find that partner.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
Send love and encouragement.
Just take a breath though. I know it can, I feel like when it comes to relationships, whether it be friends or lovers, we can get in these modes where we really want something. And then we can kind of start to get a little like we start to drop our guard a little bit. We start to loosen up our parameters. We start to kind of change for people. The longer you go, the longer you want something. So just take a deep breath. Yeah. Realize that sometimes the tighter you hold on to something, the quicker it slips through your hands. So just take a deep breath and keep going. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna find someone. It's just. I know that feeling of wanting something really bad, and then sometimes it's harder to get because you're just tighter. You know what I mean? You're not yourself.
Yeah, so. Keep your feet firmly planted, 10 toes down, know who you are, and move in that direction for sure. But sending you love. Yeah, next.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hello.
Miss you guys. I love the podcast. I wanted to do a call home because I have a little situation. So I'm just going to go right ahead into it. So I have a son, and this all started when he was doing soccer. He's 3 years old, so you can imagine how those practices were going. But anyways, I would go with my husband most of the time, and I ended up meeting another dad there, and our kids started hitting it off, which was great. And so we kind of would become soccer pals. We would chat it up at the practices, and my husband would, be in and out. His wife would be in and out, but we were kind of the main people to take the kiddos. So then everything wraps up, and he's like, let me grab your number. And, I'm, stay-at-home dad, so let's hang with the kids. And I was like, great, because we got along really well. I had a lot in common. And they actually ended up moving into our neighborhood. But the strange thing is, like, the significant others, like my husband and his wife, they just didn't come to as many practices, or they're like not, they work more, so we're with the kids more. So the two of us end up hanging out, which is totally fine, and everyone knows what's going on. Now, here's where I get to the issue. This particular dad is extremely attractive, just objectively very, very good looking. Now, so is my husband, and so is his wife. And so it's just, we're all good looking people. But when we hang out one on one, he tends to be shirtless because
Shut up.
we live in a hot climate. And, you know, just
Is this a book? Are you reading?
objectively, this is a very good looking person. Like, I know Jess reads all the
Yeah.
fantasy. She's gotten me into this whole fantasy series, and now this is all in my head, and this person is looking like, a cast of the main character in these books. And like I said, I'm not romantically attracted, but you can just appreciate when someone is a chiseled specimen of a human without a shirt on. So my long-winded question is, everyone's aware of what's happening, but we do hang out alone, sometimes in each other's houses when other people aren't around. Sometimes he's shirtless. Again, there's no secrets going on here.
Yeah, everyone knows.
And no, like physical wanting to like go past just observing, attractiveness. But can someone of the opposite sex be too attractive to hang out with, just too hot to handle, too good looking to just be friends with, even if you never feel like you take it further? Thanks, Mom and Dad.
I talk first. I talk first.
I need to say this.
Okay, fine.
I need to say this. No, it sounds to me as though, dear listener, you and your husband and this guy and his wife are all monogamous. But if you were all ethically non-monogamous,
this sounds like a dream.
They move in.
Right.
Your kids, they move in. This sounds like a book, dream, movie waiting to happen. I just had to side note that. But
So
I'm gathering that everybody's monogamous
just tell
here
you
in the
two
situation.
things. I'm going to start with you.
Start with me?
No.
Oh.
Our caller. First of all, you would not be calling in if you had zero romantic feelings toward this man. You would not, because here's the thing.
Disagree, listener.
No, I'm not saying romantic, but you're attracted to him. You're feeling things when he opens the door sweaty with his shirt off, okay? That's why you're calling. Because you are feeling things. You are feeling twinges. You're feeling, because if you felt nothing, you wouldn't even think about this. You're like, oh, whatever. I guess he's shirtless. Oh, I guess he's just a hot guy. I never thought about it.
No, because
but the fact
maybe
that
she
you're
sees
like,
him.
wow, it means that there's something happening inside of you.
No, it's because you literally can look at somebody who is like you're saying,
again,
extremely
you wouldn't be calling.
attractive.
It would just be like, oh, look at that flower. It's blue.
But you
know what I mean?
You can look at somebody and be like, wow, they're
Of course you
objectively
can.
so attractive, and I feel something via just the concept of how attractive they are, but still not be attracted to them. Like I could see somebody who's extremely good looking and have a fluster of like, whoa, that person's so attractive, but still not be romantically or even like physically attracted in the sense that like I'm not having the feeling of like that desire. Sure. So I hard disagree with you.
Okay, well, we'll see about that. Hold on. I have one more thing to say. There's absolutely, I don't care how hot it is. Okay? Is your shirt off? Your shirt's not off. You're not saying, oh yeah, my shirt's off too. It's hot. No, your shirt's on. Everyone's shirt's on except his. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he looks good. He knows his body is dynamite. He knows he's hot. And he likes the way he catches you looking at his sweat dripping back. So don't for 1 second think that it's hot out. Okay? If it was hot out and that was excusable, then like every work office in Miami, no one would have shirts on. But people are sweating through their shirts. Okay? He is absolutely knows what he's doing. There's no reason you should be alone in his house with him and he has his shirt off if it's not intentional. So just know this is a budding growing living organism of a dynamic between you two. And just know, so I'm also curious about what like your husband thinks. If your husband, because like, does your husband know? You know, there's a lot of questions here.
No, I have many questions and I have more to say, but I have to interrupt you.
Yes.
We do have to take another quick pause because I hear what you're saying about him, but I don't think there's
I'm not letting
budding.
you off the hook
I don't think there's a budding because I know it's like you get that feeling. I can hear her from her laughter.
Wouldn't call in.
But I hear from the laughter while she's saying it that it's like it's just one of those things that you're like, damn, that person's
worse.
attractive.
But
like I'm not attracted to them.
All right, let's take a break.
Okay. Family, this show is sponsored by Liquid IV. Speaking of it being hot out, woo-wee. So I mentioned that I flew to see my incredible girl Katie last week, my absolute queen. And you better believe what was in my bag for that flight. Liquid IV, because no bag is complete without Liquid IV. Must have hydration that makes it easy, powered by Live Hydroscience. I mean, the level of convenience that Liquid IV packet sticks provide to keep me hydrated is absolutely wild. We have them everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Luggage, purses, car, glove compartment, gym bag, work messenger bag, hockey bag, legitimately everywhere, okay? Visit liquidiv.com and stay fueled for a long day with sugar-free hydration featuring the new Raspberry Lemonade Hydration Multiplier. Get 20% off your first order with code MOMDAD at checkout.
Oh gosh, yeah, I love the new raspberry lemonade flavor. It's delicious. I mean, honestly, all of the Liquid IV flavors I've tried are delicious, which is an amazing added bonus. You are getting hydrated and you are really enjoying it. You can find all your favorite hydration multiplier flavors on their website, from acai berry, lemon lime to pina colada, or choose from their line of sugar-free flavors like raspberry lemonade, white peach, and rainbow sherbet. Like I said, I'm a big fan of their raspberry lemonade flavor. Another go-to is the white peach, which is a huge hit in the locker room with the boys.
Oh yeah, in the hockey locker room, you pass those out. Those two, the raspberry lemonade and the white peach right now, those are my go-to drinks for the spring and the summer. Probably the fall and winter as well, honestly. And again, Liquid IV is powered by Live Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. We are talking 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drinks and 8 essential vitamins and nutrients. And it's so convenient. You just take one of these. I got it right here. You just take one of these little packets, you tear it, you pour it into water, and boom, you stir it, you pour it into water, boom. I've got my Liquid IV right here, and you're hydrated to the max. Ready for a long day with extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV? Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MOMDAD at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code MOMDAD at liquidiv.com. Pardon me as I get hydrated. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, delicious.
So good. Okay, back to Hottie McHotterson. So here's my opinion, all right?
Yes.
Here's my opinion. I think, to answer your question in general, I 1,000,000% believe that you can absolutely be friends with someone who is extremely hot.
No question about it.
That I don't think that, like, listen, Evan has good looking friends. I have good looking friends. Like, you can be... like that's completely fine. It can happen. No question.
And most of my good looking friends are nude.
Most of them.
So just know that it's totally fine. If this guy wants to get completely nude with you in a bed, that's fine. And that's platonic. Sorry, continue.
So stupid. But yes, 1,000%, especially as you keep saying, everyone's aware of the circumstances going on. Wife, husband, everyone's aware of it. Everyone's okay with it. Doesn't seem to be any sort of awkwardness. So from my perspective, I'm like, yeah, you're good to go. Everything's being communicated and all this. I totally think you can keep hanging out with this guy, whether he's shirtless or not, looking gorgeous, because I'm getting from you that you simply just go, damn, that guy's really, really hot. and that's where it ends. Okay. I think there's maybe just like the subconscious in the back of your brain where there's a level of like, I have to sometimes maybe be aware of having my guard up because this guy is so attractive that like I don't want to ever maybe put myself in a situation where I would start getting a little too close to him.
Sure.
And I feel like currently for you, you seem fully aware to me of that. And so I think like good to go. Now, the sidebar is that what Evan said just a few moments ago does open up a point to me that I wasn't thinking about, which is the fact that he is constantly taking his shirt off. And that, yes, might seem like
unless he's doing yard work while you're over and it's like he's cutting,
or if you guys are at the pool.
Yeah, unless you're at the pool, or he's literally digging up a huge something in the backyard and it requires extreme exertion, which already is like, whatever. If he's just chilling around the house with his shirt off,
yeah,
because it's hot out. Bullshit.
Yeah, Evan brings up a point that I hadn't thought about, that he is probably indeed peacocking. So what you may want to be aware of is that maybe he is a little drawn to you, or whether or not be drawn to you,
or he thinks you like him, and there's attention,
and he might think that you.
But the fact that he's like hot and has a chiseled bod, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing, and I think you are on the verge. You're on the you're you had a fight with the husband, you got a play date scheduled later, and you're not mad at it. And I feel like you're on the verge. That's why you called in. This isn't a science call. You're not like, is it possible that two humans can have attractive friends? You're already friends with this guy. What you're feeling is it possible to be attracted and kind of having a little bit of a mini crush on someone and continue hanging and have it not get worse? That's what I think is happening.
I disagree.
Okay.
Your mom and dad are fighting now, and that's our advice to you. My advice, though, genuinely would just be to seemingly keep doing what you are doing, which is, it seems like you are aware of like, this could grow legs maybe more likely than another scenario because you find him to be wildly attractive.
Now I am
so maybe
fascinated.
just be aware of that.
Now, just a slight, if you guys are in a monogamous relationship, I am fascinated a little bit by the other partners.
Yeah. That's called confidence. Is
not, you know what I mean? Like not wondering, hey, that guy's really attractive. Hey, this girl's really attractive. You guys are hanging out alone in our home while none of us are here. Yeah. I will say, I would be curious to know their opinions about this. If they're like, oh, it's great, I don't even think about it at all. Or if they're like trying not to be jealous or whatever.
Everything sounds like they're confident in their relationships.
Okay, well,
that's what it sounds like.
That's true. But now I will tell you this, babe. If I found out that there was a hot guy in our house with a shirt on, hanging out, sweating all over the place, I would be jealous. So just know that I would not be capable of this level of confidence. All right.
But best of luck to you and your shirtless friend.
Yeah, please. Next.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hello.
I'm a long-time listener ever since Chatty Broads, and I just love your guys' show. Thank you so much for all you do. My question today is, sorry for the background noise, I'm currently pumping. I've got a baby, and that's kind of what my question is about. So basically, my husband and I really haven't been intimate. Like, we haven't had sex in like 5 months. Before I had the baby, we were really mourning the death of our dog, our family dog, mainly his dog that he's had for like his whole life, the dog's whole life, and that was really, really a hard time for him. And then after things were looking up after the dog, I was just so late in my pregnancy that we just didn't have sex. Like, you're huge, and I think he was also really scared to hurt me. And so now coming up, I am getting to 6 weeks postpartum, so I'm like at the point where we could have sex, but I just have like no sex drive. Like, I want to have sex, but I don't want to have sex. But I do feel like it would be good for our relationship. So just like, what's your advice? Should I just try and to go ahead and do it, get it out of the way, or kind of just wait and see if it kind of happens naturally? We are going on a really, really small getaway in about a month where it would be just us. So obviously great opportunity. But I don't know. I just feel like, should it happen sooner? Because I do think it would kind of take a little bit of stress off of us. But again, I have no sex drive right now. And he also, like, first baby. So, we're just like a little bit stressed out. And he's obviously the provider. So he's super stressed with work. Our relationship in genuine is very good right now. But I do think that element would add to it. So would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Love you guys.
Love you. Can I take this from the top?
Absolutely.
First of all, just want to say, just for your own brain and process, this is so normal.
Yeah.
Okay? I even hate using the term what's normal and not when it comes to intimacy and partnerships, because everyone is so different. But I harp on this so much because I get it's just such a trigger point for me about how, like, culturally, through social media, through, older magazines, all this stuff where it's like, here's the normal amount that you should be having sex, and everybody is different and everyone goes through different times and months and years, and things ebb and flow. And especially the fact, I'm so sorry about the loss of your dog, but grieving and then being very pregnant and then having a baby. I mean, the stress physically, emotionally, also hormonally for you. You're talking about not having a sex drive, like hormonally, everything going on with you. Of course, just know that, like, I know that wasn't your question, but I just want to just come out and say, like, please know that this is perfectly, like, this is, but of course this is going to be the case. Right. Okay. My thought for you would be, number one, it would be communication. You're saying you and your partner, that your relationship is great right now. I love to hear that. I would say just keep an open communication going where you can, like, let your partner know all the ways in which you are experiencing intimacy with them outside of sex. Like, I so appreciate what you've been doing for our family. Like, keep that intimacy going. And then you can communicate with as well, like, hey, like, obviously I'm tired hormonally, like, I've got these things that I'm processing. So just know that maybe we're not having sex right now, but, like, I want to at some point, but this is just where I'm at. But please know that I am still extremely attracted to you. I can't wait to, move in this direction with you. But just keeping that communication up in general, I think, is really important, just so you guys both know still how, like, you're attracted to each other, you value each other, because intimacy can come in all different forms. It doesn't have to just be sex. So try to keep that maybe intimacy up in other other ways, whether they be small or big or whatever. As far as actual intercourse goes, I would say, you're saying you don't really have, like, a sex drive right now. I think it's important to not just, like, push yourself to do something that, like, you don't want to do. I think it's good for you to see if you can get to a space where you're feeling like, this is what I want. Because just so that you're fully comfortable in the situation. So my idea would be to maybe start doing things that inspire arousal for you. So whether that be, for me, I got my books. Maybe try picking up a romance, while the baby's sleeping or on your hip. You can kind of be scrolling through, reading a romance, maybe watching certain movies. You have a certain movie that kind of gets your juices. That's so sorry, juices flowing is so intense. But you're feeling more aroused. Maybe if you know that you and your partner having certain conversations or going out to dinner, maybe even a dinner at home, but maybe intentionally having, like, sexy conversation and communicating, like, it's not going to go farther than that, but, like, maybe have some sexy conversation so that you just start feeling that in your body more before then. So then you're like, oh, I want to have sex. And if you're able to do that, maybe before you go on your getaway, just so that it takes maybe the pressure out of like, here's this big getaway where we're both feeling the pressure of like, we feel like we need to have sex because we're going to be alone. Maybe if you're able to like once beforehand, so you can kind of go into your trip feeling like a little bit of a deep breath and go, okay, we're just going to enjoy our time here. No pressure. If it happens, it happens. That would be my suggestion, is kind of to just slowly do things that are going to put you in that state of mind where you're feeling sensual and aroused. That's my advice.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, I'll just add a little bit of a tweak. Like I do think that the longer you go, or like if it's been a while, you kind of build it up in your head. It's like anything. It's one of those things where anytime it's been a long time since you've done anything and you're kind of thinking about it, it becomes more of a monolith.
Yeah, it's daunting.
So I would like just do your best to go, we've been together for a long time. Let's not make this a bigger deal than it is. Let's not over process it. There's a level of just like, even sometimes going through the motions in the early stage of like getting back into the swing of things where, you can avoid each other. You can not talk about it. You can just kind of feel like who's going to make the first move. And then you kind of build and build and build and build. And then you've kind of built these little castles where you don't come out and don't be vulnerable. And, so I would start with conversations.
Yeah.
Like just get back to talking about it, kind of de-weaponizing, getting rid of the fear of the subject around it, and just kind of start talking. And where are you at? Where are you? How you feeling? And then someone might, actually, I'm feeling this way. Oh, interesting. And then the conversation might lead to sex, and then a natural way. You know what I mean? So I think just kind of getting back into the motions of like not avoiding the conversation alone. How you doing with this? How you doing with this? And then boom, you can kind of, and then, oh, I didn't know that you were feeling that way. And then you can kind of, I don't know. So I think just even talking about it, because I do feel it specifically with sex, it can be one of those things that you kind of, if it's been a minute, you kind of avoid talking about it. You don't want to breach the subject. You don't want someone to get tweaked or hurt their feeling. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden,
that's the way it's been with us.
Yeah, it just can get that way. So I think it's important just to kind of get back to like, hey, how you doing? And then that conversation might lead to a lot of openness and awareness.
Totally. Yeah, and maybe even like Evan's saying, conversationally, you can maybe even like start with like small touches. Like you don't have to necessarily dive right in. You can maybe even ask your partner, hey, my back's been bothering me. Like, can you give me a massage? And just like kind of enter in slowly. And again, no expectations farther from there, but maybe having your partner like touch you a little more intimately will like have you feel a little more in that space, and then bring down some of those like the fears of like, okay, now we're having this intimate touching moment, and maybe that's as far as it goes. But then maybe in a couple days it's like, okay, maybe like I'll give you a massage. Just small things like that I think can really bring that a little, make that a little more like safe to enter into that again.
Yeah, agreed.
But I hope that you have a wonderful getaway with your husband. It's going to be great. And just
don't put pressure on yourself. Don't be like, this is the sex trip and this is the time we get back together.
Don't put pressure. Use it as a time to like, you guys are going to be alone. You've had a really intense 5 months. Enjoy each other's company. Enjoy your guys' time together and alone, and just let it be that going into it. Just think, I'm going to have a really good time. Don't be like, I have to do this.
Agreed.
For sure. Okay, next question, but we take one more quick pause first.
Yes, absolutely.
So family, well, the weather is heating up, people, okay? Time for that summer wardrobe. Here was my issue, though, honesty hour. The minute it gets warm, I convince myself I need a whole new wardrobe and then end up with a pile of clothes I never wear. It's not good. But let me tell you, Quince is the one brand that actually helped me break this habit, because their pieces are timeless, lightweight, and somehow make my closet feel like put together. I love Quince's pieces for summertime. They are so chic, and like I've said, the timelessness of them and the quality makes them forever pieces for me. Like, I know I'll be wanting to wear them over and over again, and then wear them over again next summer, because they have that chic timelessness. I just did a little Quince summer inspo shopping, and I got a pair of their European linen patch pocket wide leg pants in the color flax. Family, You have to check these out. They are so comfortable and so lightweight, and they are serving Amalfi Coast. Like they are giving Italian summer. Oh, it's so good. I also got their European linen strapless dress, which is so dreamy, and linen tank. We're going for this chic linen look this summer, okay? And Quince just does it so perfectly. You have to go and scroll on their website and, like me, find those 100% European linen shorts and dresses from $30, luxe swimwear, Italian platform sandals, and just so much more.
The variety of amazing pieces Quince has is really, really incredible. And the quality too. But the best part, everything with Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than what you'd find at similar brands. Yes, 50 to 80% less. How, may you ask? Well, by working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes.
Seriously, you must check out their website. It's my absolute favorite. Also, side note, Quince is a great place to look for gifts.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great place to look for gifts. But treat your closet to a little summer glow up with Quince. Go to quince.com/momdad for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/momdad to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/momdad. Okay, family, next.
Hey, Mom and Dad.
Hello.
I love y'all both. And I love the advice you guys give. And I need some advice right now that I think you guys would know a lot about. So basically, my boyfriend of 7 years, we've been together since we were 16 and now we're 23. He's about to turn 24. And 2 months ago, he sat me down and said he needed to take a break and figure his crap out and find himself. And I respected that. I moved out. And went no contact. Less than 24 hours later, I saw he deleted all the pictures we had together, unfollowed my family, and I'm sure you guys know that when you're together that long, each other's family is everything, you know?
It's all linked.
And that was really hard, and he was posting videos of himself at the club with his friends, and I'm like, wow, really looks like you're working on yourself, huh? But I just, I've just been healing silently, working, hanging out with my girlfriends. And, well, now that I've finally accepted it and come to terms with it, he reached out to my mom, my sister, my cousin, saying he made a mistake, that he knows I'm the one for him. And he's trying to talk to me and he's trying to call me, but I've told him that I'm not ready to talk to him. And basically I have this plan and I want to know if you guys think it's a bad idea, but essentially, I want to talk to him probably next week or the week after and just say that I think that we should be on our own this summer. June through August, or May through August, just focus on ourselves. And I have vet school applications opening up soon, and I really want to get into vet school, and I can't do that when I'm focusing on somebody else. Another thing to note is I've been so anxious for these last 7 years, and I just considered myself an anxious person, but since we've been on this break, I haven't been anxious once. I've been confused and sad, definitely, but I think I just realized I was holding all of his anxiety for him when he never seeked out therapy, or he never tried to help himself, and I would try to help it. I would try to do it all for him. And so basically I just need to see like real change before. And we're not young like we used to be, So, I don't know. I would really like some advice on this. I really want him to be my person. I would love to marry him one day, but there needs to be change. And I think we could both benefit from this summer focusing on ourselves. Am I going to regret this decision? Like maybe at the end I won't want to be with him or he won't want to be with me, and I have to accept that. But what do you guys think of that plan? Does that sound healthy? What did you guys do? I know you guys took breaks when you guys were younger. But yeah, anything helps. Thank you guys. Bye.
Okay, well, obviously, most of you know, I was 16 when Evan and I started dating.
Yeah.
And you were 17. And so hearing this, dear listener, like resonates.
Yeah.
So I want to say first and foremost, so if you all started dating when you were 16 years old, we're together for 7 years, and then he says to you, I need to like figure my life out. I can say, as somebody who we started dating so young and then you're together for a long time, that there is so much growing to do. And when you're with the same person from a young age and you're with them for many years, I totally understand the desire to be like, I need to kind of go out and have some life experiences. So I feel like I did. I feel like when I'm with the person, I feel like, you know, confident in this. I get that. So I understand why he felt like, hey, we've been together since we were 16 and I need to kind of go out and experience the world a little bit. My issue is the way in which he did it.
Yeah.
The fact that he sat you down and was like, hey, I need to figure my shit out. It wasn't a conversation of like, hey, babe, I love you, but I'm feeling like we've been together for so long when we were young. And I feel like, as painful as this is to hear, they're like, just the honesty of it, like, I wonder if I'm missing out. Like, I feel like I need to kind of sow my wild oats a little bit, because then at least you would know what his direction was in this. And you could process that when he was ending things with you. But the fact that he literally 24 hours later deleted all your pictures and unfollowed the family, that's where it's like, I got an issue. Because
also
that's
posting pictures at the club, which is like no regard for her.
100%.
Right. It's one thing to like do the club and then not post it, but to post it's like a real like, I don't give a shit.
It's extremely selfish. I mean, bottom line is, like I said, I understand the need to like kind of sow the wild oats when you start dating someone young and feel like I did certain things, but then to not regard you, I've got a problem with. And also, to be completely honest in your communication, the deleting of the photos of each other right away and the unfollowing of the family, like, I got a problem with. It's selfish to me. It's very selfish. And so then, but of course, what happened is he went out, met other people, and couldn't compare to you. Couldn't compare to you.
Sounds like you need to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like not to even the score, but like, sounds like you need to go out and live your life a little bit and see if there's someone better for you, because that's what he did and he didn't find it. And so there's a little bit of like, oh, so now when he's alone and sad, he wants you back. I'm a little bit like, to support your 100%. Just got to sow your wild oats. Sometimes you got to feel that if that's necessary for you. But then you can't just come back on your own terms. In my mind, I think your plan is really good for starters. I agree, I like that first of all, you're very balanced about this, and you're not like, I would be a lot more pissed off. You're very like just level-headed. And I think you're so right in that, like, you're like, I'm trying to focus on my career, my life. You need to set yourself up.
Yep.
And if it works out with him in a while, maybe. But I really think you need to be selfish. He was selfish. Now you need to be selfish, and your version isn't like even clubs. Yours is like, no, I want to work on my career, get my shit together.
But also go to those clubs if you want.
No. I'm saying that's not the reason. Like, you're like even more. So I'm saying I think you need to take this as a sign that like you need to do the same thing in your own way. Take your time, and I think it'll tell a lot about him. Yep. Right? Because, oh, okay, Clay, he goes to club, he parties, he maybe does this, that, and the other. It doesn't find someone better, and then is sat at home, wants you back. It's like, well, who's to say he's not going to do that in three years again? My thing is like, where is he going to be at when you're done doing your thing? And that'll show a lot about who he is. Yeah. Also, I think you really do need to listen to your body and the fact that you're not anxious when he's gone. Even though you should have been 10 times more anxious when he was gone and the way he did it, the fact that you were zero anxious says a lot. Yep. Sometimes our bodies tell us 100%. Like when our minds don't get it. Sometimes our bodies go, you need to either get away or take a break or something. So I could not support you more about this idea that you need to spend the whole summer away, maybe longer, find yourself, spend time working on you, take care of yourself. You know what I mean? That's you're only going to like love yourself the most. So you really got to look into yourself right now.
I think your plan is excellent, because I think it's like emotionally manageable by giving yourself a timeline, by saying, hey, till the end of August. So that then feels better probably for you too, instead of just going in and being like a question mark date, or I don't know, or we're done forever, because like you said, you do want to be with this person ultimately. So I like that, like till August.
Yes.
I think this is going to be an amazing waiting period. Like Evan was saying, to have your eyes a little bit on him.
Well, just how
to
he
see
reacts will say
how
a
he
lot.
responds to it. Also then seeing like, how is he going to act in these months leading up to August?
Yes.
How is he going to act? And I think it's a good test for him. And then of course, what Evan said too, then you focusing on you, which is like the main goal, and feeling less anxiety and seeing if that feeling of less anxiety continues and like all those things. I think it's a very, very good plan. And then by the time it comes to August, it might feel very obvious to you.
Yeah.
Evan and I did something that was kind of similar to that. Like when we initially broke up, and then after like, you know, a year, we started kind of talking again, but there were still some question marks. And so we wanted to rush back in, but instead of doing it, I was like, hey, let's wait. I think it was literally till the end of summer where I was like, let's just kind of see. And that was very good because by the time that we kind of hit that, like 2 months later after we had that conversation, we both felt very confident that we're like, you know what, you're in a good space. I'm in a good space. We were observing each other from afar and we were happy with the results and we wanted to be together.
Yeah.
And so you might come to this point and be like, I feel really good without this person. And maybe, and that's the thing, if this is your person, and I don't even mean this in like a woo way, I mean this in like a real, like tangible way. If this is your person, you both will make it happen.
Yeah.
So even if at the end of August, you're like, I'm feeling better, then maybe one day you come back together years from now, or maybe it's just not your person, you find somebody else. But I think I really, really like the direction that you're heading in. So I would encourage you. I think your plan is great.
Yeah. And don't just get back together because you miss each other.
Yeah.
That's not a good reason to get back together because missing is just a feeling.
Yeah.
Get back together because it's the right thing to do. And you feel like he's going to make your life better and make you a better person. That's the thing too, is like when you're 16, you just get together and you like each other a lot and you have a lot of connection. When you get older, you kind of go, wait, is this person make me better? Do I feel better? Do I act better? Do I get stronger? Do we support each other? You know what I mean? And this is the stuff you find out when you're older, like now, like in your 20s, which is, by the way, still not old, but it's just like, you know, as you're maturing, you're kind of realizing, oh, this is a partnership. This isn't just like we like being around each other. So just remember, like, you know, think back on the relationship. Like, am I better for this? You know? So good luck. But I love your direction.
Same. Absolutely. Best of luck to you. Next.
Hello, mother and father.
Hello.
This is your loving daughter. I am reaching out today seeking some advice about my boyfriend's mom. So my boyfriend and I, we've been together for about 2.5 years. We are in our early 30s, and last year was the first time that his mom moved out. So they've always lived together. She had him when she was 16, so they've really raised each other. They have a beautiful bond. I love their bond and their relationship. But from the first time that his mom and I met, she's always belittled my character. She is a bully. And I've tried having sit-down conversations with her multiple times. And it's always deny, deny, deny. I don't have any issue with you. But then turns around and just repeats the same behavior. I know with some of my boyfriend's previous relationships, she's gotten along with them great. But I don't know if it's just because she knows or she senses that this is her son's, her baby boy's final relationship. Fingers crossed. But it's just, she's always been so unkind and so cold and unwelcoming, and to the point where now I don't involve myself with anything to do with her. At Christmas last year, I opted out of going over to her place. He just went, and for a Super Bowl party, I opted out. When he had his birthday last year, I celebrated with him and some of our friends, and she did her own thing with him. And I mean, that's working for now, but I just don't see how that's going to be sustainable in the future if she does become my mother-in-law, when she becomes my mother-in-law. So how can I help to deal with this. I've tried asking her to meet with me, maybe at a coffee shop, we can have a sit down, and there's always been excuse after excuse as to why she can't, which is fair, but I want to find some way to nip this issue in the bud. So any advice that you can lend to your daughter, I would so greatly appreciate it. Thank you, and have a great day. Give Ember a hug from me.
Oh, so sweet.
You want to start this one?
Yeah.
You go to her and you say, do you want to never see your son again? I will poison him against you in ways you can't fathom. So back the fuck off, or I will make your life a living hell. Anyway, can you pass the potato salad? All joking aside.
Yeah, do that.
I think my bigger question is, how does your boyfriend handle all this?
Yeah.
I think that's more the issue. Because what you're doing is you're stealing her career, her meaning, her lifeblood, her support system.
Oh my God.
No, I'm saying in her mind.
Oh, I'm like, whoa.
I'm saying that's the way she views this.
Right.
Is you're stealing. It's like, imagine if someone came into your life and was like stealing your job and all your friends, and you're like in her mind, clearly the fact that she's like this way, in her mind, she feels that way.
Well, and I also
and with
find
the
it
ex-girlfriends,
interesting.
probably it was much more casual, whatever.
I was going to say, it's the fact that she was nice to the ex-girlfriends just goes to show that with
she's
you,
feeling, there's a strength there that she's threatened by.
I know with my dad, so my dad was never rude to you.
Right.
He was never rude to you.
No.
But my dad did treat Evan differently.
It was a little colder.
And he, like with some of my, I was young, but a couple of my little exes, like he was one of those guys who was like, yeah, have him come over. I'll take him to the hockey game. He was way like that. And with my guy friends, he was like that.
Sure.
But with Evan, my dad, he was never mean to him, but he kept him at an arm's length, and he wouldn't be like, hey bud, let's go to the hockey game together. And years later, we had the conversation about it after Evan and I were married and my dad and him started getting closer. He was like, yeah, it's because I like knew that you were like the guy. And I was processing that, and I kind of kept you at an arm's length because it's like, that's my daughter, and you're this like guy who's coming in. So that's definitely the energy with your boyfriend's mom, for sure. Why she's treating you differently.
You're dealing with someone who's very childish. You know what I mean? Who clearly didn't kind of like mature almost after he was a baby. It was kind of like she kind of is stuck there. She's still stuck holding him in her arms at 1 year old, So like you have to kind of think in terms of that. I think is like that's still her baby, and so you're stealing the baby out of the basket energy. You know what? To be honest with you, my take on this is it mostly has to do with him. If he's not standing up to her, if he's not batting her back, it's going to be 2 versus 1. It's very difficult. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying you got to really like this guy to battle through that.
Definitely lots of conversations with your boyfriend about this in like if you're able to, in like a not like your mom's the fucking worst way, but like hey, it does make me uncomfortable the way that your mom is around me. Like, do you notice that? Like, how do you feel about it? Would you be willing to discuss this with her?
Yeah.
So
I'm personally like, there's 2 ways to go about this. Is like, let's say he's good. Okay, let's say you figure that out. There's 2 ways to go at her. Number 1 is look at her like, if she won't come to reasonable terms, if you've tried the coffee, you tried this, you tried that, she denied, but still treats you like shit. There's 2 ways of going about this. Number 1 is look at her like a coworker or a boss who will never get fired. And you're like, how do I do this? I've tried the normal. I have to try different ways to kind of get through to her and get into her to where she likes me. And so then she feels less threatened and she won't try to fight me all the time. Because there was one way, get them to like you so they don't feel threatened by you all the time, or go right at them with the full bull and be like, back the fuck off. Honestly, there's kind of 2 ways to do it. If the normal way you're doing doesn't work, you either try to charm or give them enough to where they feel like, honestly, it's like a game and you're trying to get them to like you to where they back off the thing.
Yeah.
It's like if you worked with the son or the daughter of the owner of the company. It's like, they're not going to get fired. So you either like cause a problem with them, or you do the risky thing of just going right at them, or you try to like see what they're into and see if you can kind of like make the situation work. Because it's like, it's his mom. They have you said crazy bond. So she ain't going anywhere. So you got to figure out, and then you also don't want to be responsible for like driving a wedge between them. And then he's frustrated with you.
I love the fact that she said, even at the very beginning, like you were so sweet about how you were like, oh, I love, like she had him when she was 16. They have such a close bond. And you said their relationship is beautiful. So clearly you're coming from what it sounds like a very healthy place.
Yes.
The fact that you're able to have a person who is treating you like shit and still be like, I think their bond is beautiful, Yeah.
And I could tell there was a little bit of like, you guys like, it's so beautiful, because you're really trying to. But my personal view is like, try the super nice, get them to like you mode first so that you're blameless when you go right at them.
But what are your thoughts on the fact that she's been inviting her to like coffee to try to talk to her and the mom won't get together with her. So then she's not going to the events.
That's kind of what I'm saying is like, if you like the relationship at 2 years is really kind of at that crossroads of like, do we push farther into the relationship and get married and then now or is this thing, is this too much of a thing to deal with? You really got to start asking that question too. Like, is this worth it? I hate to say it. She's a part of the package. Is this worth it? If it is worth it, and you've also tried all the modes and she's not responding to them, that's when you got to choose one of the other. You either really try to get her to like you or you go right at her.
Yeah. I feel like maybe if I were you, I agree with what you're saying fully about like, this is the crossroads of like, is it going to be worth it for you? Definitely talk to your boyfriend. This is something that is going to, the fallout would be between you and your boyfriend. So the communication lines need to be open, and you're going to want to have, in this situation, your boyfriend getting where you're coming from. It seems like he does, because when she's not going to like the birthday or the holiday, she didn't mention that he was upset about it or that they were getting into arguments or anything. So long as it's like you guys are good, he maybe gets where you're coming from, but he's like, yeah, but it's like my mom, I love, whatever. Maybe see if he'll talk to her. Definitely.
I think that would have already happened if.
I'm just saying, maybe you never know. But then if I were you, what I might do is, since you do want to sit down with her and have a conversation and she is denying the conversation, I would maybe go to one of like the holidays or the get-togethers and I'd corner her and I'd be like, listen here, Tammy, you and I need to talk, but not in like an intense way. But I would just be like, hey, I know we've been trying to get together and, you haven't been available and that's okay. But I just want to let you know like why I wanted to talk to you. And here's the thing. I don't want to project, but the vibe that I'm getting is that you don't really like me very much. And
no, but she said, she's already denied it.
I know, but I'm just saying like kind of a final conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like you don't like me very much. I know that you said that that's not true, but that's at least how I feel. And I would love to have a relationship with you because, man, I love your son. You raised a really amazing guy, and I love him and I want to be with him and I plan on being an amazing partner to him in the future, and I would love to have a relationship with you. But I just want to let you know, I will always love and be a good partner to your son. But if you don't want to talk and be honest and work it out, I will always respect you because of the son that you raised, but I am going to then take a step back because clearly you're putting up a boundary and I'm not going to push past that boundary. So no, if you ever are willing to want to start a relationship with me, then I would love to have a conversation with you. But from now on, I'm going to keep distance between us because you're not willing to talk with me. But I will love your son.
Okay.
Something like that.
I think that sounds nice. Personally, I disagree.
Okay.
I think you're losing right now. Because the reality is this. She's got you out of these events. She's winning. She's created enough drama in your life.
Yeah, but I got her son.
No, not yet. They are separated. If you're my personal opinion is this. Go to everything. Never back down.
Okay.
Outlast her. Because what she's thinking in her head is you're just one of the girlfriends. You're going to be gone.
Yeah.
And I'm going to still have my baby. and she will continue to poison him against you. That's why I was saying, is this worth it?
Yeah.
If it is worth it, never not go to another event because of her again. Seriously, you got to go to every single one. In her kitchen, at the restaurant, you're going to every single one.
Confident.
And it's going to suck. And you're going to feel the shit. But go so that she knows you don't back down from her.
This is an arm wrestling competition.
Because what she's saying is, I'm also girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm mom and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just whatever. So she's outlasting you. She's beating you. Never back down. If you want to be the wife, I mean, I hate to say it. If this is worth it, again, if you want to be the wife, you got to put her in her place, and she will not be put in her place if you're not showing up. What's happening is while you're gone, she's dropping hints of poison about you.
Yeah.
She's going to go, oh, I don't know. Has she been kind of irritable lately? I just have noticed it. I know it's hard for you because, I know that you are you work so hard, sweetie, and I know it's hard for you. And I just always think you need someone just with like a lot of love in their hearts. And I just feel like she's just kind of always nagging you. I don't know. I'm not, I mean, I hate to say bad things. That's what's happening while you're gone. So you need to be on the premises to show her you can't play these games.
Okay.
That's my final thing.
Okay. Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one because and I'm so sorry you're in that situation. No, you're not alone. It's definitely this is a lot of mother-in-law.
Yes.
I was with a whole group of women the other day, and I would say 80% of them were having mother-in-law conversations. Yes. And, these are
Very
women who've been
typical.
married for 15 years to the same partner. So, we will band together as a unit
and defeat.
And you know what it's a good reminder of? It's a good reminder that if one day if you decide to have children,
that's what I'm saying.
To be like, I can continue to have a great relationship with my kid and love my kid, but I'm going to be really welcoming to my child's partner one day because I want to maintain a great relationship and I want them to be happy.
And if the precedent has not been set before children, that is jet fuel. Children will provide jet fuel to whatever the issue. So if you're locked in already and you've already set the precedent, you're in good hands. If you haven't, don't think that when you have kids, all of a sudden, it's going to be better. Yeah. So just be aware of that.
Yeah.
Handle it now. Never back down. Go to every event.
Never surrender.
Invited or uninvited.
Yeah, show up to the ones you're not invited to.
Show up to her birthday with her friends. Be like, sorry, I must have missed the invite.
Tammy, oh my God, happy birthday. Get her a great gift.
Get her 4 therapy sessions.
BetterHelp.com/momdad. Okay, one last one.
Let's do it.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hello.
This is Mary. I have a couple of things to tell you. So last week I took an assessment and my counselor confirmed I'm ADHD as fuck, boy. So I'm neurodivergent, and that's really fun and just
same here, girl.
Exciting to now be able to recognize about myself and my cutie little brain.
Mm-hmm.
I am in a spot right now for my career where I'm quitting all my jobs and making my whole spiel is that I'm making time and space for things that make me feel good. So I'm trying to learn how to skateboard. I haven't gone into a park yet because that's so spooky. But in a social aspect. But yeah, I was looking and of course then my Instagram's listening to me collapse and it's talking about all these quick ways to make money, and there's this thing called FinDom and FinSub, and so it's financial dominatrix or financial submissive, and basically there's probably millionaire men just walking around who want to give women their money. So basically I am just talking to you about it because there's no shot I could ask any of my family if that's something you think I should do. And I don't know, it's just kind of funny. I'm mean to men and I don't make any money for it, so why wouldn't I?
That's amazing.
Other than that, I think that's it. Oh, I feel like maybe not anyone else in the family would want you guys to recap Queer Eye, and maybe it's just like it doesn't kind of fit the mold, but like if you watch Queer Eye, I need to know, and like can we cry together one time maybe about it? Okay, that's it. Love you guys. Tell Ember I said hi.
Love you. First of all, we love Queer Eye.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
One of the best shows ever. Also, highly recommend if you've never seen We're Here. It's a similar kind of premise, but they have some drag queens as the host, and they go to different like small towns, and they encourage people, like maybe one of the people is maybe doing a drag performance in the small town, but they like go into the small town and talk to people and advocate, like, and find like different allies in the community and people who are struggling. Talk about a tearjerker and like change your life type of show. Yeah. Also, Bob is in some of the seasons, and we know how I feel about Bob the drag queen. Okay. So highly recommend that. Second, you are hilarious.
Yeah,
I love your energy. I'm happy for you that you got your diagnosis. I know sometimes it's like, it's as a bipolar friend out here, it's like simultaneously hard to get the diagnosis, but then it also feels good to know like, okay, we've got a path here. I'm able to, like you said, process that cutie brain that you've got. Moving on to financial dominatrix. I love this. I love this so much. I love the fact that you're like, well, I'm already mean to men anyway, so might as well. I don't know a ton about being a findom. I know a little bit because I did some research at some point because one of my friends was thinking about this, and everything about my friend definitely gave the energy of like, oh, this is something that you could do and be good at. And listen, if there are people out there who are like, yeah, I want you to be mean to me and to dominate so that I can give you all this money that I have, I'm like, take that cash. I guess my only advice would be, I would do a lot of research before you dive into it. Make sure that the way that you're getting into it is very safe. Like, I don't know if there are specific companies. Like I said, I don't know tons. So if there's like specific companies where you're protected in a situation, where you make sure that, I don't know if this is something that you're just doing on the phone, but if you're just doing it on the phone, to make sure that it's like a private situation so that the person can't, find you. Like just be very, very safe about this. Make sure that like everything is safeguarded. And if it is something that you are doing in person and it's not just, over the phone, I don't know where you're from, but I know that at least in like Los Angeles, there are different locations around LA where you can take classes on like dominatrix, like dom sub situations, just so that you would be talking to someone who's a professional who could help you. So that, again, just to help for your safety, to learn like boundaries and guidelines and just to fully protect you. But if you're in a situation where it's like, yeah, you're safe, you know what you're getting into and you feel fully protected and like everything's secure, why the hell not? Yeah. This way you're able to have maybe a career where you're making some great money being mean to men, and then have maybe more of a flexible schedule so where you can keep pursuing what you're pursuing, which I love, where you're looking for things that like bring you joy and that interest you. I'm like,
love it.
Do love that findom work.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I feel like when it comes to when I hear you talk, it's like I'm hearing a bunch of things happening, to be honest with you. I'm hearing a little bit of liberation with the diagnosis. I'm hearing a bit of, it's nice to kind of maybe put a name to something you've been feeling, putting a little bit, but I also want to just encourage you to really focus on it being a superpower and like making, like focusing on strength, focusing on realizing what you have, focusing on how it helps, how it hurts, all the things, do all the research, really dig into who you are, but also kind of like know that maybe what comes with that is the desire to kind of burn it all down when you're feeling this way. Because I don't want you to wake up and be like, oh, I wish I didn't quit my job. Oh, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't do that, just because you were feeling it in the moment. Like, just be like, I have this feeling, I have this desire. Let me sleep on it. Let me research it. Let me, maybe I think social media can be powerful and helpful, but it also can be hurtful if we're spending too much time getting all of our inspiration on there too. I know for myself, when I'm struggling, or when I'm, like you said, I'm in a burn it down stage or whatever, it's like, and then I spend a lot of time just like scrolling on social media. It can be super overstimulating for me, and it can pull me in 50 different ways, and I lose focus because I'm going, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do this, maybe I want this, maybe I don't want this, maybe you know what I'm saying? And it's like, maybe just kind of regulate your input so that you're not getting pulled in so many directions. Because I feel I hear you, and I hear the way you're talking, and I'm going, there's a lot that can happen here. And I just want you to be careful about how much stimuli you're putting into your body, because there really is this level of the more you put in, the more you get confused. You know what I mean? So just research, dive in, be intentional, and be careful about being torn in too many directions. Side note, love the skateboarding thing. I would say, don't be afraid. Rip the Band-Aid off. Go to a park. No one cares. No one's watching you being like, who's this? Go to a park. Put on some elbow pads and knee pads. Look like a dork. Have fun. See if it's a vibe. But don't be afraid. Know that you got to take care of yourself. Have fun. Try things that scare you. Take risks and enjoy life. And
you sound so cute and charming. You sound so charming.
You're charming.
You're falling at the skate park. Like, like Evan said, nobody's looking at you, but if you do, it's like everyone will just be charmed.
Yeah.
Just be charmed by you.
Yeah. And as your dad, I would just say, have all the feelings, but just sleep on these ideas. Sleep on them, then go, okay, how do I feel about it a week later? Do I want to quit this thing? Do I want to join this thing? Do I want to try this thing? Allow it all in, and then just kind of let it flow through you. That would be kind of my fatherly advice.
And after you do the research, and if you feel safe,
give us an update.
Could
be
please.
Epic.
Yeah, it could be like your
could be
most
amazing.
favorite thing you've ever done.
Could become like the Michael Jordan of findoms.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my God, I had no idea I was the most talented findom in the entire world.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Or you're like, this is not my vibe, and I'm out. But
well, sending you so much love. Family, we send you all so much love. Again, I keep saying this because whenever we do call homes, we're getting a bunch of call homes, which we are obsessed with. Thank you so much for sending these voicemails, because I know we're going to be doing more reality recapping, but we're also going to be integrating it with more call homes and having more call home episodes scattered throughout. So we're going to be getting to your question. And so sorry if you didn't get your question answered today or listen to your voicemail, but we're getting to these.
We have them backlogged.
Okay? We have all of them. Okay. They're ready. So
keep sending.
Keep sending. Yeah, please.
You guys have amazing stories and amazing lives.
Yes.
And so we want to hear them all.
Well, we love you all. Have a beautiful weekend, and tune in next week to find out what we're going to be recapping.
Yes.
Stay up to date on the Instagram stories. I'll post when the episode's going to be out, either Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and what we're going to be recapping.
Love you.
All right. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.